Small, slow drones fly toward their target by the hundreds or even thousands. Even small nations can now afford a 4- or 5-digit number of Shahed-class drones. The air defense is overwhelmed because it was never prepared for such a number of targets at any time. Expensive systems like Patriot fire missiles costing several $1,000,000 at drones that cost $20,000 US. How can a nation defend itself effectively against this? Probably differently than you might think at first, because Gepard and Sky Ranger are not the only answer. Aircraft that would have fit into World War II are part of it as well. Holy smokes! Now save the most at Holy with my code. One-way attack drones like the Shahed-136 have changed the war. Their low cost allows even small powers to buy or build thousands, which guarantees the oversaturation of defenses. Ideally, cheap drones should be shot down by cheap means. That's just common sense. Ukraine mainly shoots down drones with mobile fire teams. That is, pickups with heavy machine guns mounted on them. There are now also interceptor drones. Self-propelled anti-aircraft guns also help, especially the Gepard. Probably also Ukrainian Tunguska and Cheka. In emergencies, anti-aircraft missile systems can also be used, but ideally only outdated systems, or systems with limited capability and range, to keep limited ammunition available for Russian cruise missiles. But an important part of air defense will still be carried out from the air. Helicopters shot down 2,026,379 drones in March. Fighter jets take off to shoot down cruise missiles, but also to directly shoot down drones. Ukraine alone has already lost at least 5 fighter jets doing exactly that, and several pilots have also been killed. So the risk is significant. This danger does not exist on the ground. Rheinmetall Sky Ranger is the worthy successor to the Gepard. Unlike the Gepard, it can fire self-destructing ammunition. So it doesn't have to hit the drone directly. The fuse causes the ammunition to detonate near the drone. Laser systems are also theoretically possible, especially since they can fire much more cheaply than an anti-aircraft cannon. But they still have a very short range, are large, and are affected by weather, clouds, fog, and dust. Ground-based air defense generally has a problem. Its range is limited. A self-propelled anti-aircraft gun has an engagement radius of 2 to 4 kilometers. The target has to stay within this radius long enough to be successfully engaged. This makes the effective range noticeably smaller than those 2 to 4 kilometers. That's enough for a country like Singapore, Luxembourg, or maybe Bahrain. But for larger countries, you need hundreds or even thousands of systems just to protect the airspace. Then you still have the problem of radar blind spots, or that many one-way attack drones can also fly high enough that anti-aircraft gun tanks can't shoot them down anymore. The Sky Rangers are also tasked with protecting Bundeswehr units. That simply makes it unrealistic to achieve complete coverage, especially since drones can take detours to fly through gaps in air defense. Smaller countries could build effective air defenses against one-way attack drones using anti-aircraft cannons. Otherwise, realistically, this is only possible as point defense, whether it's military bases, defense companies, or possibly individual cities. So defense against one-way attack drones will always have to combine ground-based and airborne systems. In Ukraine, interceptor drones are now responsible for several thousand shootdowns per month. Their potential is significant. They can launch from anywhere. They are inexpensive to produce. With many models, if they fail to intercept, the drones can be landed again and use them later. Currently, the pilots are usually still on site, but increasingly, Ukraine is increasingly controlling them remotely from long distances. Theoretically, interceptor drone depots could be set up anywhere in the country, which could then be remotely controlled from a command center, at least as long as enemy electronic warfare does not sabotage communication and bomb the command center. Interceptor drones are still single-use weapons with limited range and flight altitude. However, raising performance parameters also increases production costs, making interception pricier. The range of interceptor drones may be greater than that of a self-propelled anti-aircraft gun, but even they are only sufficient to protect a relatively small radius. Along a coastline, both interceptor drones and anti-aircraft guns can only provide air defense once targets are closer to shore. It's different with air defense from aircraft. Currently, most air defense against drones in the Gulf is carried out using fighter jets and helicopters. With them, drones can be intercepted by flying out to meet them, allowing interception while they're still over the sea. However, Helicopters are often not much faster than the drones themselves, and also have a limited range, which restricts their usefulness against one-way attack drones. With a modern fighter jet, several drones can be shot down at once. In addition, a jet can quickly move between different locations of operation. Drones can be tracked, but flight costs are very high, and supersonic jets have huge maintenance needs. Even when cost-effective air-to-air armaments like the Advanced Precision Kill Weapon System are used, flight costs remain a major factor. In addition, supersonic aircraft have a relatively high stall speed, which is usually higher than the speed of the drones themselves. Slow-flying drones can only be reliably shot down with missiles. Using onboard cannons risks flying into the debris cloud and thus crashing. And that has apparently already happened several times in Ukraine. Winter is over and summer is approaching. And of course, you want to make sure that everything goes well, including your health. I work a lot, so my health is especially important. That's why I make sure that, at least when it comes to minerals and vitamins, I don't make any mistakes and always stay in the healthy range. About a year and a half ago, I started trying AG1. At first, I was a bit skeptical. Now I don't even travel without it anymore. I always take it with me. Since I started taking it, I haven't gotten sick once. I've always been able to work, live stream, and make my videos, which is especially important to me. With it, I actually replace 15 basic supplements. So vitamin B12, vitamin A, vitamin C, vitamin E, and so on and so forth. Zinc, magnesium, calcium are all included as well. This way, I make sure that at least in this area, I'm doing absolutely everything right. The fact that I haven't gotten sick since then could be related to AG1. As far as I know, there's no scientific proof. And the company strictly requires that I don't claim there's some kind of new miracle cure or anything like that, especially when it comes to saying that I'm feeling better or that something has improved. For example, I'm explicitly not allowed to use words like that, so I don't mislead you. In the end, it's a mix of supplements that has personally done me a lot of good. It convinced me, and I really do take it every morning and take it with me when I travel abroad. 4 clinical studies have also been conducted on this. AG1 is certified by the Cologne List and Informed Sport, and now there's a limited offer. 10 daily servings for on the go. With that, you also get a bottle of vitamin D3 plus K2, the welcome kit, and the whole package worth €86 for free when you sign up for a subscription. And subscription always sounds a bit risky. You can pause or cancel it at any time, and you have a 30-day money-back guarantee. That means if you try it, you take no risk at all. And if you're not convinced by AG1 in the first 30 days, just use the money-back guarantee, and you haven't lost anything at all. So if you want to take advantage of the offer now, go to www.drinkiguan.com/Geschichte and sign up for the subscription there. You can find all the details about the health benefits of the individual nutrients in the link in the show notes. So the question is, which defense is suitable for which threat profile? Gepard, Sky Ranger, and similar systems are strong in point defense, such as for military bases, airfields, ports, power plants, or army units. But they protect specific points, not the airspace as a whole. Interceptor drones are effective when you want to respond cheaply, in large numbers, and in a decentralized way. But they also only cover a limited area and remain dependent on range, flight altitude, and electronic warfare. Helicopters are suitable for slow and precise engagement at low altitude. But when it comes to range, speed, and operational effort, they quickly reach their limits. Jets, on the other hand, are strong when speed matters, and large areas need to be covered quickly. But against cheap, single-use attack drones, they are often simply too expensive. The real gap lies in between. That's where ground-based systems are too stationary. Interceptor drones have too short a range. Helicopters are too slow, and jets are too expensive. So, when it comes to combating slow, single-use attack drones over larger areas, off the coast, near the border, or in the approaches to important targets, here, something can help that at first glance looks like a World War II airplane, the Super Tucano. The light attack aircraft is designed exactly for missions where you need something in the air that's faster and more powerful than a helicopter, but not a supersonic jet. With its top speed of almost 600 km/h, it can quickly catch up to inexpensive one-way attack drones. In its latest version, the Super Tucano is capable of firing APKWS rockets, making it possible to cheaply engage Shahed-136-class drones. It can carry 28 of these rockets, so theoretically, it can shoot down 28 drones. If the rockets are used up or reconnaissance drones are spotted, There are two 12.7 mm machine guns on board that can be used to shoot down additional drones. Unlike supersonic jets, the stall speed of the Super Tucano is much lower, at only 150 km/h, so the pilot can also take the necessary time for accurate shots, especially since his minimum speed is lower than the normal speed of the single-use attack drones. But if close air support is needed, laser-guided or GPS bombs can also be dropped. The low fuel consumption allows for a loiter time of about 5 hours with a full weapons load. So the aircraft can patrol an area and wait for additional targets. Maintenance is simple, and the requirements for airfields are minimal. This makes the aircraft, in addition to its use against drones, CUAS, also ideal for stabilization missions, which the Bundeswehr has carried out over the past 20 years and may still be necessary in the future. Whether in Afghanistan, Mali, Somalia, missions against the Islamic State, or even against pirates, these aircraft would definitely be useful. Since they are not fully fledged combat aircraft that look offensive, the political resistance to sending such aircraft on stabilization missions might also be lower. If the speed and range of a helicopter are too small, and the performance of a supersonic aircraft is too much, and there is no strong enemy air defense or fighter jets, then the Super Tucano is the right choice, and all that for under $2,000 per flight hour. Compared to over 70,000 euros per Eurofighter, at least that's what I find in newspapers, or $35,000 for the F-35. The aircraft has now convinced 22 nations which have acquired and ordered it, including not only Brazil and Chile, but also the USA. Yes, even in Panama, it will be the first combat aircraft ever to be used by the country. Oh, and in case you want a bit of variety and don't want to depend solely on Embraer, there is the AT-6 Wolverine from Textron and the OA-1K Skywarden from L3 Harris, both of which are also designed for the APKWS system. Skyrangers are undoubtedly necessary for the Army. Not only can they defend against Shaheds in the event of war, but they can also provide escort protection for armored forces. Lasers are gradually becoming operational and can protect key targets like military airfields and naval ports. Drone interceptors can supplement and strengthen the defense. But if a relatively large country like Germany wants to protect itself effectively, in the end, there will be no way around providing support in the air. This can intercept attacking drones of the Shahed-class not only before they reach the country's borders and the coast, but also provide timely support. What do you think? Should the Bundeswehr acquire the Super Tucano? If you enjoyed the video, please give it a thumbs up to help with the algorithm. If you're new, please subscribe and click the bell for future videos. That's all from Torsten Heinrich. Thanks for watching and see you soon. Thanks also to the supporters on Patreon, as well as here on YouTube. I would especially like to thank Lieutenant Colonel Mahamori and the Lieutenants Betainment, Robert Veal, Lichtschetra, Antiex, Meersman, Malermeister Noggle, and Marcus P. Rosenthal, Mad Best, Vision Soundlab, Sick Rider, Silvio Ströver, Mütter 1000 Janiscu, Sascha Müller, Cunningham, Oistress, Shadow, Jans vom Eck, Uwe die Fram, Nickname to Bib, Carsten Schulz, Tequila 42. Thank you very much. Without you, this wouldn't be possible.